Hey guys, what's up? How are you doing? It's 8-Bit Eric. Welcome back to the channel. So just the other day, Nintendo accidentally leaked a brand new Kirby game that they eventually released like the next day. It was Kirby Fighters 2, which is a sequel to a mini game that was on the 3DS for Kirby Fighters. Looks like Smash Brothers Kirby, in my opinion. And it was interesting that somehow it was just accidentally placed on Nintendo's website for whatever reason and just kind of thrown out there. It was a good find by Wario64, who discovered the game somehow using the search function on their website. Very interesting stuff. So Kirby has a brand new game, but there's been a massive discovery in the world of Kirby that actually was left in the code from Kirby Fighters 2, which is kind of interesting. And I like when we find interesting stuff in the code of games, when people data mine it. I'm not techie, so I don't know any of that stuff, but finding this stuff and looking at it, I always think is really interesting. So yeah, let's check this out. Let's read this. It's from a user on Twitter named Angie, which is at FurrowB, and let's go ahead and take a look and give our thoughts about this. So it says, massive effing Kirby discovery. Huge, actually huge. So pretty exciting news. They found this a couple days ago. Haven't seen too many people talk about this, which is why I wanted to bring it up, because I know Kirby's a beloved franchise in Nintendo gaming. I know people like that. The thing that's big about this, and I'll talk about it in a minute, HAL left code for sample programs or something related in Kirby Fighters 2 default bin. So this is the default .bin. They left sample programs. In it is a namespace called Kirby 3D. So that file name is very interesting. There's things for Kirby, Blade Knight, Sword, and Waddle Dees. So if we look at this, we can see, if we go down up on there, we can see Kirby 3D. And you can see characters, things like this. Who knows? Was this left in accidentally? The speculation here, of course, is this code for a 3D Kirby game that was accidentally left in here? That's the thing. Why I think this is interesting and this is big is that there hasn't been a proper 3D Kirby game. Every single Kirby game that has come out in recent years has been like a 2D side-scrolling type of game. We haven't gotten a 3D Kirby game, like a full-fledged 3D platforming Kirby game. And even though I'm not a super huge Kirby guy, I think that would be amazing and cool if we got that. Now, to have another Kirby game coming out right after Kirby Fighters 2 seems a little bit soon. I don't know if maybe, I know it seems like Kirby has like 2 games a year. I'm going to be honest. It seems like there's always a Kirby game coming out. This could be big. This could be something that they didn't mean to leave in. So I don't know. But anyways, they continued to answer the question. We could see some more info here. Code plus organization is up to standards of the recent mainline games. So this is a complete code. Has the standards of a mainline game. It's not just broken. It's not some kind of crummy stuff scattered on there. This is alongside a bunch of experimental mint test projects, such as a Kirby-based template and other things. So there's all sorts of stuff. A Kirby-based template, random artifacts, random stuff from the game, and it says it's completely different than Blowout Blast code in every way. So it's a completely different code in multiple ways right here. So this is causing a little bit of a stir. You can see it definitely has gotten a pretty good reaction. 5.4 thousand likes, 1.4 retweets, and you can see in here people are getting excited. Kirby in a true 3D adventure will finally happen. We have not gotten one. So if they did that, I think that would be big. This could be a potentially huge discovery in my opinion. I think data miners do a good job finding stuff, leaking stuff, finding out all sorts of info. People are even suggesting this might be Blowout Blast 2. You can see people saying it's finally happening. No wonder it's been so long since anything new. It looks like HAL is really experimenting with as much stuff as they can. It is finally time. So people, she literally stated it's different from Blowout Blast code. How do you know it's not just early testing code or something for Fighters 2? You already know in 3D Kirby game that you found the code in. So People are speculating. You can see at first I thought, oh, probably just Blowout Blast 2 and then we'll get another DDD's Drum Dash. Then you said the code was completely different. It's effing happening. So this seems like it might be likely. You know, I saw the, you know, the interesting turn of events is that this Kirby game came out of nowhere, was shadow dropped. So it's evidently been being worked on for quite some time. So if there's a 3D Kirby game that has been in the works this whole entire time secretly, because there was never one announced. There wasn't even Fighters 2 announced. You know, think about a year ago or all the times that we've got announcements for upcoming Switch games. There was never a Kirby game announced anywhere. And that's part of the frustration that I do have with Nintendo. Real quick, I'm going to get off on a side tangent here. You think of how silent they've been for the past year. A Nintendo Direct, a proper Nintendo Direct not happening in about a year. And in that meantime, we've gotten just random shadow drops. Like the Paper Mario and the Pikmin, all that. All people want, Mario 3D All-Stars, all people want is to know what's coming out. And it seems like after every Nintendo Direct or every partner Direct or every mini, people are left wondering what is going to happen besides ports and indie games on the Nintendo Switch. And I think if Nintendo would just come out and be like, we're working on Paper Mario, we're working on porting Pikmin, we're working on a new Kirby game, things would be a lot more less hostile when people react to Nintendo stuff. Because it's just like Age of Calamity just came out of nowhere. How much happier would people have been if we knew Age of Calamity was being worked on 6 months ago? So I know Nintendo doesn't get into the habit of announcing games way too early like Sony or even Microsoft do, where we'll see, you know, Elder Scrolls 6 coming out a year from now or 2 years from now, and then, you know, Final Fantasy, you know, 7 remake, and it just takes several years. Nintendo doesn't get in that habit. Usually they do a good job of making sure the game is within the next 6 months or so, or coming out real soon in that quarter. So I got to give them props for that. Maybe I just answered my own question. But it would be less frustrating if people would actually find out about stuff instead of through leaks and data miners and stuff. I don't know. Either way, I'm still happy that there's potential for a Kirby game coming out. I think it's long overdue, especially if it's 3D. So I just want to know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know. What do you think about this? Do you think this is interested development with the code being found in Kirby Fighters 2? Would you want to get a Kirby 3D game? And let me know your thoughts on Nintendo in general. Subscribe if you haven't so we can keep up to date on all things Nintendo Switch, PS5, Xbox Series X. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.